Welcome, welcome, everybody. Thank you guys for being here. Welcome back to True Crimes of Scientology with me, Nora Ames. Guys, we got to talk about some stuff um, in the Scientology universe here that is going on because, hey, Sandy, hey, mods, hey, lady mods. Um, that is going on because there's a lot of things happening right now, guys, that can only be described politely as shenanigans, but they are not shenanigans. Um, Unfortunately, they are very serious, coordinated efforts that are going on right now. So we're going to dive. This is going to be a deep one. I promise you, it won't be 10,000 years long because I have opening night of my Child's Play tonight. So I do have a deadline, and I'm meeting people for food and things like that. So we're going to do my best. We're going to focus. We're going to hone in on the issues at hand. Okay, number one major issue in my life is right here, the Legal Defense Fund. Guys, that little QR code gets you to my GoFundMe. Okay, and if you want, there's the GoFundMe. There's that lady's face. That's me. We've raised $1,200. Just as a refresher, this isn't going to be the topic of the whole stream today, but the retainer for my lawyer is in fact $5,000, and I really, really, really do need to, uh, you know, get that for her. Okay, she's worth it. It's important, and if you guys can help me out, that would be great. Now, let's get into what's happening. What's happening right now? Okay, I don't know. I don't even know how many things because I had like a number in my mind, and I think I'm underestimating it. But let's talk about two fronts that are happening right now that are very visible that we can see. Okay. And I just realized I forgot to bring up somebody's thing here. So forgive me, everybody. Appreciate your time. Okay. So I don't want to separate this out into like good people, bad people, plus a minus, but it's kind of hard to not be black and white right now on these issues, guys. I'll be honest with you, um, because of the nature of what's occurring. Okay, but it's going to be a little bit like that. So just bear with me. Bear with me. Okay. So the first thing I want to know, I'm not inviting someone up right now. The first thing I want to go over with you guys is this. So right now, and I made a big post about it yesterday. Um, we have somebody who has been working tirelessly now for the past 2-3 years, almost 3 years now, to bring awareness about Scientology's crimes, okay, to the public in general, okay, and that of course is Audit LA. And in recent times, she has been, especially in the last week, she has been extremely attacked. We're going to go over some of those attacks here in a second. The other front where people, it's like all of these attacks are happening at the same time. It's not a coincidence. It's not a coincidence. Okay. So Audit is being attacked in a kind of like a multi-pronged effort, okay, that is originating from, of course, Scott, who's now not DOA, guys. He's Lord of the Gadflies, like he's like Lord of the Dance, like he's sitting up there with the Irish shoes and trying to be like remember that fucking shit, the Lord of the Dance. Yeah, so that's it's definitely being stoked by Scott, who has done multiple streams attacking Audit, and then he, of course, delete. Because in one stream he's like, no regrets. Then why do you keep deleting all your fucking streams right after you do them if you have No regrets. And then he's using surrogates. And he has chosen to use Josiah, who we all remember from back in the day, to say this to audit, because this is appropriate to get a young man with documented mental health issues to do. This is smart. Stop speaking on my name, audit. No one is influencing me to do anything, you big back pig. Instead of worrying about DOA and me, you need to be worrying about losing some weight and getting on a treadmill. If only you hated being fat as much as you hated DOA, you wouldn't be rolling around in a wheelchair. Laughing, crying emoji. You are big, loud, and obnoxious. You and your big back followers can keep my name out of your mouth. I'm a grown man. I will move how I want to move and speak how I want to. I pay my own bills. I live on my own, and I'm a full grown adult. If people can just influence and take advantage of me, then I wouldn't have survived LA for 3 years on my own. So until you big backs pay my bills, you can keep my name out of your mouth. P.S. Scott didn't influence me to create this post. And of course, we can't have a full post without Judy chiming in, where all caps Judy, which, can someone explain to me how someone has eye problems and so they have to type in all caps in order to see what they're saying, but they can read everyone else's comments in the regular font? I don't know of an eye condition that it would be diagnosed by a doctor that requires that, but if somebody does, please tell me. Damn, Josiah, you nailed it, but you forgot to mention that I'm not your handler. Bwah! Those dumbass people, for real. Thank you so very much, and keep being you. You're an amazing person. Much love. XOXO. And let's not forget, why is Scott freaking out? What's Scott's freaking his freak right now? Well, he caught a case, guys. He caught a criminal case. Okay. He was arrested, as you guys remember, over a year ago, guys. On February 16th. This is how long this case has been going on. It's been over a year. Okay. Okay. So now why it goes from 1 to 7 to 8 is because the first original 6 charges were dismissed. Okay. So they redid the charges. They're all felonies. Okay. This is the incident at La Poubelle where he tackled, what's his face? The Motley Crue. Okay. And let's see if this makes, okay, that's better. And then the other ones are making criminal threats, and they've tacked a hate crime onto that. Now, there was some confusion. When I read this, it says it's all on the same night as La Poubelle, but apparently they're supposed to correspond with these other dates. So regardless. Okay, so those are the charges. The proceedings, the next proceeding is on the 24th, guys. That is very soon. Okay, today is the 7th, or the 6th, rather. Today is the 6th, which would mean that he has 16 days left. Now, he has gotten many continuances. They've had a lot of proceedings, a lot of, his last one was there. This was a readiness hearing. So the next one is for a motion pursuant to, something that Scott put together there, and a pretrial conference. So that, to me, just reading that sounds like we're getting ready to go into an actual trial. But the judges' calendars are very full. It's not like on TV where it's just like, now we're going to have this trial for a week, unless they actually start trial, then it goes like that. So, so he's in a little bit of a freak out right now. So what else is happening? We have Scott attacking Audit, who's, in my opinion, probably as a single human being has done more to affect real change in Los Angeles against the Church of Scientology and their control over the city government and the police. Okay. So you have Scott attacking her, you have Josiah attacking her, you have, whoever from his group coming in to just, try to make her feel as terrible as possible about herself, so that she will stop. I'm pretty sure that Audit is aware of the size of her body currently. She lives in it. And to just harp on that for someone who has had severe health issues, which led to that state, is not only unkind and stupid, in my opinion, it is cruel. It is meant to be cruel. It is meant to destroy that person, so that they will stop protesting. Okay. Then let's move on. Let's move to our next category here. We have this person. Okay. This guy, Hyperbolic Man, aka the Big Dog, who decided to show up not correctly on the Zoom hearing because he's not a party in the case. I have been given his personal information. He's been exposed before under his real name. I'm sure some of you know it. I don't plan on putting that information up here right now because that's not my thing. I'm not here to dox someone. But I am aware of where he lives and what his real name is. And if I need to file paperwork with his local authorities for his obsessive, cyber stalking of me and others, I will do that. But I'm already in the middle of one legal battle, guys, that I need to finish. But this person is Anthony adjacent. This is one of his main attack dogs, right? He is here, exposing all these people. What do all these people have in common? Oh, they speak out about Scientology. Also, he already says he's in Ohio here. So it's like, and so he likes to put like, okay, this is an AI tank. There's a price to pay when you slander my name. This is a threat of death for the people in the back who don't understand what imagery can be used in a court of law to convey, Mr. Hyperbolic. This, as presented to a DA or a judge, would be considered a threat of death, whether you are in the Army, have access to a tank, or not. Okay? Like that's what that is. And also, how dare you use Wonder Woman? How dare you? Yeah, how dare you? And oh, look, he likes to be excited that he has, along with other unidentified people, destroyed now 4 separate Reddit threads that were holding truth, literally just posting a streamer's actual content and words to the internet that has been used as evidence in a court of law. So by doing this, you are putting yourself in the line of fire with the prosecution in a criminal case. I don't think that's the best thing to have done. Okay? So this is going to be bad news bears for the defendant in the criminal case and for you, sir, for your own edification. You will become part of it. You've made yourself part of it. All right. So we have this ridiculousness going on. Okay. So we've got Scott freaking out about his case, directing people to go attack Audit. We've got another person facing criminal charges and everything else. I cannot speak to if they're directing their people or not, but like it certainly appears that way. Very calculated efforts to shut down truth about them. Now, what else is going on? There's more. So, in addition to all of this, let's go here. Now, you guys have all seen Goodreads, right? Everybody raise your hand, put a 1 in the chat if you've ever been on Goodreads, if you've ever used Goodreads, if you've ever checked out a book on Goodreads to say like, I wonder if I want to read that. Let me read the reviews. Let me check it out. Many authors put their stuff on Goodreads, not just self-published authors, okay, but many authors do. There seems to be a phenomenon occurring on Goodreads right now. Now, people who are actively speaking out are experiencing review bombing right now. So let's take a look at this. All right. We're going to pull up some books here. We have Jenna Miscavige's book that's dropped down. There's 41,000 ratings, okay, and 3,700 reviews, okay? So if we go down here, there's 10,000 five-star ratings and 15,000 four-star ratings. Now look at all of this bad ratings, okay? Here's a recent one. I'm just going to filter it by newest, okay? So you guys can see. Didn't enjoy the writing. I learned a lot. Okay, so that's from today. Riveting story. 4 stars. Oh, 1 star. Ibiset. I don't speak German, and if anybody speaks German, they would know what that says. There's a 4-star one. Here's a 3-star one. This is another repetitive mem. Okay. 3 stars. It was all over the place. Blah, 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 blah. Melissa says 2 stars. This is, again, from last month. Again, in a language I don't speak, okay? Now let's go to another book here, okay? This is Jamie's brand new book, okay, that now just went below 4 stars. What is happening here? Let's go down. Now we have, okay, not a lot of people have been reviewing the book. If you've read the book, please come over here. And let's go to newest first, okay? 4 stars from Wilkie. There we go. 2. This person wanted more celebrities. Okay. 4. Heather Dinwoodle. Upset about it. Okay. So those, okay. That's 7. But there's more than 17 reviews. Why am I not seeing all of them? I don't understand how to navigate. Oh no, there's only 17 reviews. So let's go to the ratings. How do you? Oh, I see. That's just from people can't. Some people didn't rate it. Let's see how many people did the 2 stars. Just those, okay? So we have that. Jamie's other book, The Invisible Machine. Same thing's happening. Okay, people are coming in with like all of a sudden reviewing it with low stars. Okay, but it's not I didn't even show you this one. Yeah, that's his other book, The Invisible Machine. Then we have Liz Gale's book, right? Now hers is still a little bit higher rated here. Okay? But again, we're getting more people coming in here. And doing the low readings, right? Just to say nothing. And a lot of them have nothing to do with anything. Okay. But then we have, this is now notice Catherine Spallino's book is still doing really good, right? She's got 1 1-star review. Who is this dickhead? They didn't put a review in. They just rated it no stars. See? So they just put it in there. That's how you see. 6 3 stars. So people can write a review. Yeah, there's going to be a sequel, Shannon. God. Okay, lots of people, they left a comment on the 4-star one, so that's good. Okay. Now, here's what's crazy. Mike Rinder's book, he's R.I.P. Mike Rinder, is still doing really good. Okay. Only 42 1 stars. Now, oh, who's that, guys? Who's that? It's Mark Rathbun. It's Marty. Book lover. Jess. Joanne. Internet director. Eve, Melissa, Marie, Dylan, right? So that's what I'm saying, guys. Mike, fortunately for him, in his book, because it's been out longer, right, has way more reviews stacked up, okay, that are positive. All right. And these are, I don't think on Goodreads they have to verify their purchase. So, yeah. But what this does is it drives down because, and you want to look at Marty's thing here. Look at this. This to me is comedy for Marty to write this. The cult of victim narcissism. That's what he says. I read Mike Rindo's autobiography only because I was informed that once again, he could not restrain his obsession for lying about me and my family. It was a slog. 300 pages purporting to reveal shocking news without a single alleged accusation that has not already been reported on ad nauseum. In most cases, reported on decades ago. He doesn't say they're lies, though. He just says it's old news. But blah 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 blah. Okay. So, and then people were like, now this guy is a Scientologist. I don't know. So this person's obviously a Scientologist. Riggs is the last name of a Scientology family. LOL. I don't know who that person is. See, this person is like, okay, you're a fucking hack. This person's seeing through the lies. Way to betray someone who is willing to stand up for you and your wife. Yeah. And it's the only book Marty's ever reviewed. Yeah. So, oh, Wilkie. Blah, 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 blah. Okay. So, what does all this point to, guys? What does all this point to? And then, of course, when, like people can't leave me out of the mix, guys. Can't leave me out of the mix. Gotta have more nonsense. So, of course, here come my favorite haters on the internet. My favorite haters on the internet, the McClowrys, who never fail to have nothing nice to say about me and also don't get the story right. I'm not even going to read this one to you guys because it's just so, yeah. It's just so not worth it. It's just, yeah. It's, yeah. It's not. It's just, it's Mike McClowry being very, 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 very upset. How do I get this to stop sharing that? That's legal documents in the Solomon criminal case, which we're not going over. We're not going over that. What we are going to go over, okay, is we are going to go over some documents here. Okay? Because why are they doing this? Why are they doing this? Okay, so this is from the Office of Special Affairs orders, okay? Now, the only reason that all of these actions are happening, and I want to be abundantly clear, guys. The only reason I have to stop sharing. How do I There I am. Okay. The only reason any of this is happening is because when things progressively get better in the environment around Scientology, and by that I mean Scientology loses, okay? Oh, I didn't even go over the Reddits. Oh, I did a little bit. Scientology loses. Okay. So when the government starts realizing that they are supporting a negative entity and that it's not in their best interest to keep flowing support towards that, Scientology blows up. And this is the handbook for why and how they do that. So let's go over this here. This is the Office of Special Affairs, Network Order number 6, from 28th of August, 2006. Okay. Our War, originally written on 2nd December 1969 as a summary of data concerning intelligence. Okay. Our War has been forced to take over absolutely the field of mental healing on this planet in all forms. Let's think about that again. To take over absolutely the field of mental healing on this planet in all forms. Okay, so let's go back to Jamie's book. Okay, the first book that I ever talked about here. All right, because this goes directly against that. All right. There we go. The Invisible Machine. This is the book that he wrote along with Dr. Eugene Lipov, man who pioneered the stellate ganglion block, dual sympathetic reset shots. That procedure will change mental health and has changed the mental health of many people, including U.S. veterans and veterans all across the globe. Okay. But it's not Scientology. So they don't get to claim it. They don't get to own it, right? Jamie owns it. This is Jamie's work. So they don't like that. They don't like that. They want to be the only place where anybody goes to have mental health help. Okay? So, let's get back to this here. All right. That was not the original purpose. The original purpose was to clear Earth. That means to make every single inhabitant of Earth free of their reactive mind. Okay. The battles suffered developed the data that we had an enemy who would have to be gotten out of the way. And this meant we were at war. We a year ago identified the enemy, or at least his central group. Since then, we fight battles first on our own ground, now on his. Our tactics of offense and defense are based on data. We need data to predict his offenses and counter them, and data to use in our attacks on him. We remove his agents and vanquish his troops, and we directly attack his central group. That's sound tactics. So again, let's go back. Okay. Let's go back to what is happening right now. Okay. We have. Oh, okay. Oh, no, that's too many. Nora, what are you doing? Okay. I didn't want to do that anyway. So we have these tactics going on right now that involve very specific targets. Okay. That Scientology has made their list. They've checked it twice. They have figured out who is the easiest to manipulate, to attack, to induce into weird actions that have grave consequences for them, etc. I myself have been a constant target. Thus, the civil cases I'm involved in now. But I'm vulnerable to that, guys. I'm not perfect. I'm vulnerable to attack. Why? Because I react. to the punching of me. I react to it. I become enraged by it, right? I've been threatened with legal action by Mr. D'Amato for 2 years, and then some finally happened. I was also threatened with a lawsuit from Aaron, and that sent me into a whole tizzy. So anytime they see this is your weak point, they're going to push on that weak point. They're going to fucking smash it with a hammer, okay? Until you break. Until you break. That is their goal. That is their goal, for you to break, okay? And this whole idea of removing. Let me pull this back up here. Yes. Of removing his agents, vanquish his troops, and we directly attack his central group. So that is eliminating their friends, eliminating supporters. Okay. So if any one of us gets a core group of friends, supporters that are helping us out, nope, we're going to start turning them against you. We're going to eliminate them. We're going to pay them off. We are going to somehow influence them, because, guys, everyone has, an amount of money. Okay. Everyone has a need. Everyone has their weak point. Now, some people are very easily exploitable via money. That is just a fact. That is science. Okay. Others are influenced by their own family, by their friends, and other things. Okay. Oh, thank you, Ozzy. I do read that out. I do read those out. I can work on reading those out more, Ozzy. There are so many good people, and I'm not talking about you guys. I'm definitely not talking about you guys. But this is what you have to picture what's going on. We got to remove all these things, okay? Our total victory, okay, will come when we run his organizations, perform his functions, and obtain his financing and appropriations. We are armed with our own integrity. Blah, blah. Okay. Now, let's look at I'm going to have to just pull this one up here. Replace. Let's look at this one here. All right. So now this one is from the 15th of February, 1966. It's called Attacks on Scientology. Anyone proposing an investigation or an inquiry into Scientology must receive this reply and no other proposal. We welcome an investigation into mental healing or whoever is attacking us, as we have begun one ourselves and find shocking evidence, right? So every time Scientology is asked for a response about Leah, about any incident that happens, you can see that they follow this playbook word for word. Now, mostly they say we have begun one ourselves and have found, the litany of lies and shit that they say. Okay. You can elaborate on the evidence we have found and lay it on thick, attacking the attackers only. Okay. So if we go back to this gem, okay. If we go back to this gem, attacking the attackers only. So Scott sees audit as a threat. More realistically, Scientology sees audit as a threat. So through their proxy of Scott, he has now adopted another proxy, because he's been making fun of her for, months. So now we have additional proxies being recruited by the main proxy, right, to do these things. Okay. And then they always, it always gets worse. It always gets worse, guys. It's never going to just stop with the one thing, okay? Because then the next thing they say to do, right? And this is how you do it. Spot who is attacking you, okay? Start investigating them promptly for felonies or worse using own professionals, not outside agencies. So you got to use Scientologists to do this, guys. You can't hire, Joe Blow. Double curve our reply by saying we welcome an investigation of them. Of them. Start feeding lurid blood, sex, crime, actual evidence on the attackers to the press. Don't ever tamely submit to an investigation of us. Make it rough on attackers all the way. You can't get reasonable about it and lose. Sure, we break no laws. I'm sorry. Feeding lurid blood, sex, crime, actual evidence. Where are you getting that actual evidence from? That's wild. That's crazy. Something happened and it's gone. It's doing the thing again where it's not showing me what I'm showing. Is it showing you guys? Let me try. Oh, let me just go back here. Okay, now I'm back. And let me try sharing again. There we go. We're back. Okay. All right. Attackers are simply an anti-Scientology propaganda agency, so far as we are concerned. They have proven they want no facts and will only lie no matter what they discover. So banish all ideas that any fair hearing is intended and start our attack with their first breath. Never wait. Never talk about us, only them. Never talk about us, only them. Okay? Use their blood, sex, crime to get headlines. Don't use us. Okay, then he's got all these blah, 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 blah. Now, how to stop the attacks on us, on Scientology. Locate the source of the attack. Investigate it. Expose it with lurid publicity. Okay? And they do this to people paying them for service as well. Okay? You see the same thing in a pre-clear person getting Scientology done to them. He has a rotten spot in his behavior. He attacks the practitioner. The spot is located on a mirror, it blows, and now he relaxes. That's not what happens, okay? To get wholly over to cause, we must select targets, investigate, and expose before they attack us. So even prior to any singular person that's left Scientology speaking out, they already have an attack agenda and they already have it in place. Okay, let's look at another fun policy here from the Church of Scientology. Oh, here we go. This one, is that the one? No. Oh, yes, this is the one. Okay. This is battle tactics, okay? There we go. Now it's kind of in the center of the screen there. All right. So this is a defense paper material developed after 18 years of ceaseless attacks by a foreign enemy. All right. In these days of Cold War, when actual warfare was impossible due to atomic weapons, right? Blah, 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 blah. The enemy uses groups and meetings of groups like one would use squads. So he's trying to come up with this military analogy here. Okay. So then he says, it is bad to fight warfare, to fight battles on your own terrain, in your own subject area. And it is not good to fight in the territory of allies. Okay. Fight battles wherever possible only on enemy terrain and in and about his subject and his people, not ours. You can gauge your relative success by this. When all your battles are fought on his terrain, you are winning. Okay? So instead of trying to address the things that audit has said, or address things that I have actually said in reality, or address what's in these books, these people are just trying to be over here in our groups, invading chats, deleting Reddits, invading the whole thing. This is one guys, I want to read you these things so you understand that this is not a coincidence that all these things are happening right now. Okay? It's not a coincidence that all these things are happening right now. Okay? Let's look at one other thing here. And here we go. This is counterattack. Can I make this smaller? There we go. Counterattack attacks. No, counterattack tactics. I just want to be like, attack. Okay. Sorry. I'm going to stop wiggling it. Okay. So when public relations and legal find themselves engaged in handling attacks, intelligence has failed. Those who attack Scientology, as proven by Oxford capacity analysis graphs, a made-up, non-scientific examination that Scientologists use to con people into believing that they are at the worst possible state in their life and only Scientology can help them. Criminal or shady record, personal lives, etc., are provenly suppressive. Okay? When such people, as is currently common, ascend into the heights of governments or public or private organizations or the press, they might be able to exert the fullest dramatization against anything which might benefit others, and usually do. So if people rise to the point where they are influential, okay, and they are saying, hey, Scientology is a con, it is a scam, it is a cult, it is destructive. Now those people are automatically suppressive. Okay. I'm being restreamed by who? Paige is restreaming me? Jen, who's restreaming me right now? Are you guys going to tell me? It's just a mystery. Now I got distracted. I'm trying to focus. Oh, okay. Is he now? Let's see. Let's see. This is how much I talk about this kid. I have no idea what he's doing right now. No, he's not. Oh, he's just talking about me? Was he? No, that's Becky. Yeah, he had Becky up. Well, this started 2 hours ago, so I don't know. Sorry, I'm just strolling through this and you guys can't see what I'm looking at. Hang on, I'll show you what I'm looking at. So Josiah is live currently. Scientology protesters are hypocrites. I guess Becky was also talking about this situation. So he's talking about Becky, and then all these people started talking about me. Oh, good. Sandra's there, who I've never met. They're laughing about me having to go to court. It's fun.
Dyke.
Only
Oh, 42 1-stars now. So he called me a dyke. Good job, Josiah. I am gay. That's right. I am a lady who likes ladies, and I am gay. This is the problem. That what I said. I've never. Number one, Josiah, since you're listening, I've never said anything negative about you. Number two, I donated when you were incarcerated, and I promoted your GoFundMe so that you could get out of jail because I didn't think what had happened to you was okay. So those are facts. Whatever else Scott has told you about me, maybe try talking to me in person. Maybe try like having an actual conversation with a person in real life. Instead you want to sit here
look like a fucking boy. Like, bitch, shut the fuck up. The only person that's mentally ill is you, bitch.
See,
who does
look,
that?
This is
Who
a
just shaves
person.
their head like that? Like, what the fuck? Shut up.
Yeah, I did shave my head because I was having a really, really hard time. No, Scott is to blame for this, Sopa Princewell, but I'm not going to give these guys more fuel. Josiah is welcome to restream me and, and do whatever because he'll delete it right after anyway. He doesn't keep any of his streams up. I'm really not concerned with that. He likes to talk mad shit and then delete. Just like his master Scott does. And if you think that you're not under the influence and you have a violent reaction being told you're being influenced negatively to do something, by this person, and your first impulse, Josiah, is to violently defend that, you're in a cult. You're in a cult. That's I would love to let you know that you're in a cult. That's how cult people act. That's how I acted about Scientology. And when you treat relationships, a relationship can be a cult, guys. It doesn't have to be a whole organized group. Okay. But Scott is definitely running a cult. Aaron is running a cult. Tony is running his own little cult. You guys, people who are here right now, you guys have been here. A lot of you have been here a long time. I've also, please put a 1 in the chat. Okay. If you've ever sent me an email, a text, Instagram message, anything that was like, hey, I didn't like what you said about whatever, or I disagree with you. And by putting a 1 in the chat, you're going to show that you were not banned. I did not do 10 streams about what a piece of shit you were. I didn't call you a bad actor. It's called criticism. It's called feedback, right? And I can take the feedback and reflect on it and say, oh, maybe I fucked that shit up. And sometimes I have apologized, right? Other times I've just been like, okay, well, that's what that person thinks. I don't really care. But it's not an immediate visceral reaction like what has happened in Scott's chat, where it's not just Scott, guys. And this is why I say it's cult-like behavior, right? Scott will say, well, audit is a big fat pig poop. And then it's like a pile-on. Every single person in there, oh, the big dog is here. The big dog made it through on one of his 5 million alts. Guys, please look out for why didn't I have a convo with you? I don't know you. And you've never asked to have a conversation with me, Brock. Why don't you? No, I didn't attack you, hon. No. Pointing out your actions is not attacking you. Okay? Talking about things that you're doing in real life that are bad, that's not attacking. That's saying you did X, Y, and Z. Okay. But thanks for coming in and yet another alt that we can monitor. We've had many conversations where you've told me I fuck shit up and I'm doing stuff not the way, you want. But guys, we have to get over this idea too. And this is only something that's promoted here in this tiny, tiny Scientology world. This word attack. Okay. It's a very Scientology concept. Okay. Now, when they say attack in these issues, these scriptures, whatever you want to call them, these ramblings of a complete madman, they literally mean attack, like by any force necessary. Okay. When you threaten to upset things with the counterattack, this is pleasing to such people, and they go on attacking us as they want their own government institution activity attacked. Okay. Okay. Attackers against Scientology located and removed from their positions so that Scientology can get on with it, right? So a counterattack to, I keep putting it in the wrong spot, to obtain the removal of the person with the product of dismissed attacker. All right. Avoid where possible the commotion and wasted energy of paralleling an attacker's own evil of destroying his own government, agency, or institution. Instead, discover the attacker and operate to cost him his job. To cost him his job. Where have we seen this tactic employed in recent times, Scott? Scott. So, when we see people who are actively, and I do mean actively, trying to go after people's income, trying to go after people's, homes, their all of these things, this is the Office of Special Affairs, okay? The former Guardian's Office of Scientology, the CIA KGB wing of Scientology that operates outside of the law, okay? And does nothing but recruit people because they're a spy organization, guys. They don't walk around with a t-shirt that's like OSA and be like, hey, would you like to join OSA today? Like, no, guys. They approach people much the same way that spies do when they are working to recruit someone, okay, for counterintelligence purposes, okay? Spies recruit all kinds of people for very specific areas that they want attention put on. Okay. For example, they could recruit a botanist, okay, who wants to go to South America to study the rainforest, to look for possible cures for diseases that they've, heard of, like specific things. Okay. So they get this botanist some funding for their research. And they just need, like while you're taking pictures of these plants, also because you're going to be in this specific area, we would appreciate, just some surveys of the terrain. If you could bring that back with you, that would be great. Okay. Now, does that person necessarily think they're being a spy? No, because the company that they're working for is not the CIA. It is a front group, right? That is like botanists for cures or some shit. That's a total flim-flam thing set up. In the same way that the Scientology protest movement has been completely infiltrated by these people to do exactly this. And how do they do it? They come along with big pocketbooks, right? We've got 86 GOP, Danny Gone. Who was the other one that was donating hand over fist for a while, right? They come in and they donate through YouTube. They donate to your PayPal. They donate to your Venmo. And they donate at specific times. I mean, it was even documented one time during a Zero stream where he was going off about something, and 86 GOP put a super chat in, $100 super chat, and said, not what I'm paying for. And he had to drop the topic that he was talking about and go back to attacking me and attacking other people, right? Because he was talking about something that was actually on his mind, I think, a little bit, right? So he's, these people are paid for puppets. Now, some of them truly believe they're altruistic, truth fighters. They're out here for warriors of justice. They are pawns. They are pawns. They may be aware of the scheme that they're involved in. They may not. When I look at someone like Josiah as an example, he's collateral damage. Okay? He got involved in protesting Scientology because I assume, and he can certainly correct the record if I'm wrong, because he saw it as something like, wow, that's fucked up. Also, probably because it was trending on TikTok. And that's okay, because as a content creator, you got to go where the fucking trends are. Okay, that's just facts. You got to go where the trends are. This is an extremely important stream, guys. There's 89 people watching. Now, if I had put Tom Cruise in the fucking name, I'd probably have more people here. Right? Okay. And I'm on my smaller channel doing this because this is the channel that's dedicated to Scientology. Okay. So I'm trying to reach the specific audience that I want to reach on this, but I would love for everybody to know this stuff too. But it's like, you have to realize when you are not allowed to speak your mind about the supposed leader, okay? No one is allowed to be critical of Scott. No one. Chi does it occasionally, and Sandra, right? They do it occasionally as jokes. But he's even gotten pissed off with them when they're trying to be sincerely trying to steer him in a good direction to not talk about certain things or not do things. He's like, brah! And he blows up at them. Right? We've all seen it because he's a cult leader now. This is all about clicks and clout and, money, because the clicks and clout get you money. Okay. Full disclosure, this channel makes less than $100 a month. Okay. That's just facts. That's where it's at. I'm sure he is. And I won't have to issue like a copyright strike, which I could, because he'll just delete it after, because that's what he does. And Josiah, just so you know, if people super chat you during that live, all those super chats go away. So I wouldn't keep deleting them. That's bad business. Or just have people only PayPal, Venmo, and Cash App you. Then you're fine. It doesn't matter if you keep the live up or not. But that's just, if you delete a live or you put it on private, you lose the money. So don't lose the money. Put it behind a members only paywall. You can still keep the super chats. That's the deal on that. My dogs have come in to visit me. Listen, I don't have ill will towards Josiah. I wish him nothing but success on the internets. I certainly can't jump rope as much as he does, or run and things like that. I'm quasi crippled in my old age, and that's totally fine. Yeah. Yeah, I know, T. I know. Yeah, she has said a lot of things. I've had a lot of private correspondence with her over the last couple years. There was some rumors going around about her. There are things that certain people like to say about her. I didn't believe those things. She wrote to me personally to, give me an opportunity to ask questions, which I appreciated. And we had a very cordial email exchange where I was like, I don't believe any of that stuff. I have no intention of, saying shit about you. And then she was like, well, I won't say shit about you as long as you don't say shit about me. I don't think that rule is really held up on her end. And that's fine, because she is a Scott loyalist again, in a cult, Uh-oh. Is that Rox, that thing you put in our chat? Is that from his chat or my chat? That's wild. Yeah. Hey, Liz. Hey, bestie. So the thing that we have to, the thing that we have to understand here, guys, is that there is one specific group, okay, that wants us all to hate each other and to work feverishly to try and destroy each other so they don't have to do it. And that's Scientology, specifically the Office of Special Affairs. Okay. That is where all of this stems from. Okay. That is where all of this stems from. So you can choose to remain in your micro diet Scientology cult, Scott or Anthony or Aaron, okay, which are all tiny microcosms of Scientology operations SOP, standard operating Scientology procedure, where they very, very much do not allow criticism, do not allow you to view other things that other than the approved things. You know, if they catch you in another chat, they're going to ban you. Okay. Guys, I love all of you that show up here that do all this stuff. If I spent my day trying to go to every chat to see who is in there talking in another chat about me, I would have no life. I would have no life. And that seems really dumb. That seems really dumb. So, like, if you want to, and here's the deal. If you're lurking here from Scott's chat or Josiah's chat or Aaron's chat, good. Thank you. Thank you for watching. Thank you for being here. I don't have a problem with it. I wouldn't even have a problem if you've said nasty things to me in the past, and you commented. Now, some of you might not be able to comment. I'll be honest with you. Hey, Rika. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, Rika. Yeah, people who have Scientology touch their life get it really fucked up. It really sucks. Some of you may not be able to comment in my chat, and that is because I did ban you from my chat. Now, why did I ban people from my chat? Why did I do that when I'm saying that, like, hey, I can't go around? I banned people from my chat who specifically came into my chat to say horrific things to me. Okay. Those are the people I have banned in my chat. Not anybody who's said something about me in another chat. You have to come say it to my face in order to get banned in my chat. Unlike Scott, unlike Aaron, unlike Zero, who just all of their people are constantly looking, you know, under his eye, you know, like regulating the whole internet. Guys, wake up. You are in a cult. The behavior that you are duplicating right now, that you are regurgitating, is a Scientological, programming. Okay. And for Scott, for Scott to say that I am an independent Scientologist, or Laura or anybody else who actually survived Scientology, is one of the grossest things that anybody who claims to want to end this group could do. Yeah. Yeah. It's pretty gross, especially when you never went through that. You dated a Scientologist and a survivor of Scientology for a few months. You didn't date them while they were in Scientology. You didn't date them, and help them escape Scientology. You dated somebody post Scientology a long time. And yes, Scott, the way trauma works is it doesn't just fucking go away. It comes back in waves, in bits and pieces, as a fucking tidal wave, as a a drop. It doesn't all come out of you once and then just never come back. That's not what happens, because it rewrites your genetic code. It rewrites your DNA. Okay? So you cannot just fucking expect somebody who's been through any kind of trauma, and not just growing up in a cult trauma, but any kind of trauma, to just be one day, well, I don't think about that anymore. Unless, of course, you get a lobotomy. I don't plan on ever getting a lobotomy. But yeah, it's just you're not. I'm just going to call out those three individuals. None of you are trauma informed. 0% of you. Okay. I am not a trauma expert, but I am this much informed. I'm studying it. I'm learning. But please don't make definitive things and not be trauma informed. Here's the other thing that I got a beef with. Scott got a channel removed for very calculated strikes. His original Defender of Ants channel, totally annihilated off of YouTube by Aaron, Natalie, and Kelly Copter. And I did a video on that over a year ago, expressing my complete distaste for that action. Particularly when Scott was incarcerated, I thought that was a real low. And of course, everyone saw the response from Kelly Copter. Zero regrets, would do again. Now, I'm not a fan of Scott's. I'm not his friend. I'm not associated with him in any way, shape, or form. Okay. And now that Scott is about to go, to prison, possibly, he's doing the same thing. He's out there issuing copyright strikes like he's fucking Oprah and threatening lawsuits, for what? For what? For repeating actions that you did on the internet, for calling out your bad behavior, for saying that you're not a nice person and that you're a fucking lying con man. That's not a lawsuit. That's not a lawsuit. You have to prove that you lost income because I said, whatever, you're a lying con man. And then you'd have to turn over all of your financials for that lawsuit, all of the super chats, all of the PayPal, all of the Venmo, all of the Cash App, every transaction, and then show the date that I said whatever I said, and then how somehow you received less from the donations that you're getting. The tips, that's what it's counted as taxes, guys. Tips. Okay. I don't think you have a case. Because I'm pretty sure, Scott, you're pulling in way more money than I ever have doing any singular video. So you can have all the opinions about me as you want. You can call me Pat, which is a homophobic, transphobic statement. You can assert that you don't know if I'm a man or a woman. Also, highly, verging on a hate crime, because there still are laws in the books in California, bud, protecting Labikwa people. So I would kind of lay off that. Yeah. You can attack whatever you want about me. I'm fat. I have whale tits, whatever. Okay. But these other things that you want to talk about, yeah. Oh, no, I know, Ozzy. I know. Both him and Zero and Aaron. If you don't like them and you don't, oh, hang on one second. Okay. Okay, good. If you don't like them, if you don't worship them, okay, then you're a bad actor. You're an SP. You are an OSA agent, right? You're here because you heard whale tits. Well, there you go. You're at the right channel then. So when we see these calculated attacks on audit, on people's books on Goodreads, on the Reddits that are showing the truth, on me, whatever, it's not about me today. This only comes from one place. It is the Office of Special Affairs. They are using by proxy Scott, Tony, and Aaron to coordinate these attacks. Now, then some people would go, well, wait a minute. Hold the horses. But they're all facing criminal charges. Why would they use somebody like that who they can't really control and is now facing criminal charges? That's the perfect person, guys. That's the perfect person. Okay? Because they're a little wild, they're a little out of control, but they are easily influenced by MONEY and EGO. Ego. money, and ego. What do these three people harp about the most? Their subs, their views, braggadociously talking about how big their channels are now, how many people they're talking to, not about the accomplishments that they have made to stop Scientology's actions, to stop Scientology from getting bigger. Now, here's the difference. If we look at, Tony's his own enigma. He's literally just here to attack very certain people. This is my opinion. This is my analysis of the situation. Scott and Aaron, on the other hand, I fully believe are here to destroy any form of protesting in any way, shape, or form. Okay. As we know, if we rewind the clock to January 2024, when Scott first made his appearance, that was date coincident when Aaron went down, got arrested. Okay. And since that time, then Aaron was like anti-protest. He was like, fuck these guys. It's fucking everything up. But first he liked Scott. He was like, oh, these guys are wild. And he liked Streets. Then he was kind of like, I don't know about that. Then he was like, oh, Streets got bigger than me. I gotta be friends with Streets. Right. Which is the only reason he became friends with Streets, because Streets' channel exceeded his in a number of months. He was jealous. Go back and watch that interview with Streets when he interviews him about his channel being bigger than his. It's hard not to see the jealousy slathered across Aaron's face at that moment. Okay. This has never been about stopping Scientology. And Aaron has said that out loud because he thinks Scientology is just going to fizzle out like a candle in the wind, like a candle burning out. Like they're just going to, one day they just won't have any more donors. Oh, sad panda, right? That's not what's going to happen. Because they have billions of dollars socked away. Okay. They're going to have to dip into the reserves to keep these lights on and keep these buildings going. Okay. So you have Scott, who blows into town on the TikTok wave, and then is quickly picked up by 86 GOP as the person to fund. At one point, I think Scott estimated that he had received like 20 grand from 86 GOP in a very short amount of time, like sometimes $1,000 a night. Okay. Aaron, same thing. 86 GOP was like tossing money in his chat like he was fucking Oprah. Okay. Now, Audit, on the other hand, has never had a singular or multiple large donors just handing her money, pushing her agenda in a direction. Audit saw the forest for the trees and saw what the fuck Scientology really was and thought, okay, this is a multi-billion-dollar criminal organization. How can I, as a singular person, go speak about their crimes and tie it into the legitimate agendas that are going on a daily basis in city council? So she came at it from something that is near and dear to her heart, something she goes through every day: ADA compliance. ADA compliance. What was the result of the occupation, guys? The result of the occupation was, for a year, Scientology illegally, with no permits, put up barricades all over Lafayette Ronald Way. Okay. For over a year, it took 18 months, guys, 18 months of Audit showing up every day, going to multiple council meetings to go in and, for fuck's sake, block. Oh, you guys got him already? Are all the comments gone? I was just trying to get rid of one comment, guys. I don't know what happened. Okay. I'm still live. I don't know. Oh, here we go. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, she could absolutely be nominated for one, Amy. I agree. It's just she went in there and she figured out how to, through persistence, through perseverance, through continuing to repeat the same thing for 2 years, to handle that. And what's the net result of her continuing action? The net result of her continuing action is that Scientology does not have the sway and the control over the city council, over the permit office, or over the Los Angeles Police Department that they had just fucking controlled for decades because of one person. Okay. And yes, other people showing up with her. Lara, Ganja, Amy. I'm going to forget tons of people. I know Jennifer's called in. Every single person who's called in has contributed to that. Audit is there every day. Okay. And not only is she speaking out at the council meeting, she's having one-on-ones with very key individuals in all of these departments because she's there all the time. Now, do these people look at audit and go, wow, what a fucking fat pig? Who cares what she has to say? Absolutely the fuck not. They listen to every word that comes out of her mouth. And they're like, wow, this woman has done her research. This woman, is doing it. What do you, ma'am, sir, ma'am, are you fucking kidding me right now? I've been praising audit for 2 years. So please keep up. Yeah. Okay. But conversely, let's look at the other side. What has Scott accomplished to change Scientology's ability to be an influence in any way, shape, or form in Los Angeles or anywhere else? I'll wait. Anything? Anyone? Bueller? No, nothing. Because there's nothing. There's a reason why you don't do that. The opposite has been accomplished. Because of the felonies that he's facing, it is going to make it increasingly more difficult for good-hearted, well-intentioned people to protest Scientology effectively. Okay? Same thing with Anthony. Now, many times, and this is why I say Anthony is his own enigma, because he said many times that he doesn't give a fuck about taking down Scientology. Okay? So we're going to take him out of that category. Okay? In terms of Aaron, what has Aaron done to effectively change Scientology's power and influence in the area of Florida? I'll wait. Nothing. Yes, a bunch of people have come out to protest. Appreciate. And what have those protests resulted in? Police action, a court case against Aaron now, which is unfortunate. Right? Yeah, nothing, Kathy, nothing. Scientology still has all of the power that they do in Clearwater. He hasn't changed that. He's only gone to like a couple city council meetings, and he went to a bunch leading up to his campaign, which he did not get elected. And that's based on, again, his actions. And what has Aaron's case now done for people who are survivors of Scientology who want to go to the Fort Harrison or the other Scientological buildings in the area, which there are hundreds? What has that done for them? It has made it more dangerous for those people to stand outside and speak out. He has made the protesters a target via his actions, right? Now, has Aaron brought to light some very serious situations of a legal nature and also behind the scenes things? And, people have reached out to him to tell their insider info. Yes. Yes, absolutely. I'm not saying everything that he's done has been bad. But these recent actions have really kind of fucked everybody at the drive-thru in terms of being able to exercise our First Amendment rights and, do that. Protesting does matter. I know there's a disagreement in the chat right now. Protesting does matter, but it can't be done only, right? Nothing can be done only, right? Like Audit goes to all these meetings. She also goes and protests and talks to people on the ground, right? Because it's not going to be one thing that takes down Scientology, guys. That's just facts. Scientology is way too big. It has its tentacles in way too many things for one singular thing to wipe the whole thing out. Okay. It has to be a multi-pronged attack that takes place around the world, that takes place inside of the rooms where it happens, in the council meetings, in the police commission meetings, inside of the school board meetings, inside of all of the places where Scientology has its influence, not just outside of their buildings where people, brainwashed people go to continue to pay their money. Okay. Showing up at those places does two things. It puts Scientology immediately in fear because they're like, oh no, if one of our people reads those signs, maybe their mind might change. That's the fear from Scientology. Number two, it also creates this immediate, violent reaction, okay, against the perceived enemy. Circling back to Josiah earlier. Okay. So when people say, Josiah, you're being influenced by Scott to say nasty things about people that you don't really know, right? And Josiah's immediate reaction is, fuck you! Like, you don't know me! All this stuff, right? That is a cult reaction. That is what's called a stimulus response, to a stimuli, right? It's very Pavlovian, right? So the ringing of the bell and the drooling of the dog kind of a thing. Scientology embeds that in your mind that anyone who has anything less than rainbows and kittens to say about Scientology is not only not a good person, they are your enemy and they're actively trying to hurt you. So, of course, here's somebody who's now a danger to you. They're going to hurt you. Of course, you're going to fight back because that's how human beings are when our fight or flight is amplified. Okay. So if you get someone so racked up into a state of constant fight or flight where anybody who isn't one of us is going to kill you, you are going to punch back. Okay. That's what cult leaders do. Okay. Every single cult leader has that little nugget in their playbook. Look at Jonestown. Look at Waco. Look at fucking Charles Manson. Look at Warren Jeffs. All of these guys, same playbook. If someone isn't with us, they are against us. They are the enemy. They are the devil. They are the government. They are whoever. Okay? Scientology loves that shit. They fucking love that shit. The Office of Special Affairs, that is their entire reason for existing. Okay? So all of these attacks, every single one of them, whether Scott knows that half of his chat are Osobots or people being egged on by Osobots, because you can have like 6 degrees of separation of this shit, guys. It's like 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon, right? That is what you see when you go into his chat. It is very coordinated. It is very orchestrated. Same thing in Tony's chat. Same thing in Aaron's chat. Go do yourself. Don't listen to me. Go research it yourself. Go watch the next live stream of any one of those 3. Now, Tony probably won't have a live stream anytime soon because he's getting care in a mental health facility right now. And like I said yesterday and the day before, I wish him nothing but the best on that in his journey on healing and mental health. I sincerely, I want him to get all the help that he needs there. So he doesn't have the internet right now, so he's not live streaming. But do yourself a favor. I'm sure Scott's going to do a whole stream about this and dress up as Pat and do the voice because he thinks all of this is funny. In the same way that Aaron has said now 3 times out loud that Tony was funny to him. And he really didn't see what the big deal was. When people have a sense of humor of that nature, in my personal opinion, that's a red flag. That's a red flag. Red flag. Yeah. Who's yelling at me now? Yeah. Oh, my goodness. Oh, here we go. What did I do? Oh, okay, Martha. What did I do to change anything in Scientology? I'm going to tell you. So in my very first, well, it actually wasn't my first. If you go back, and I believe they're up on this channel, but I'll triple check. My very first videos that I put out in 2015, describing the RPF, describing how sex is manipulated in Scientology, and most famously, the video that I did in 2016 for Leah about what happens when you are gay in Scientology, broke open a lot of doors. Several people who are gay, I should say, left the church successfully, getting out. During that time period, for at least a 5-year time period, they had canceled the RPF, the Rehabilitation Project Force, their concentration camp, their slave labor camp that they run in multiple locations across the earth. I have spoken out on international news, in Australia, England, I think once in Norway too. I can't remember, and throughout America, about my personal experience of having grown up in and been recruited heavily into the fake space Navy at the Celebrity Center, and also being sent to the concentration camp for 3 years because I was gay. Those talking points and testifying at the places that I have done have helped hundreds of people over the last decade to get out of Scientology, but also to get out of other high control groups, and also to seek therapy for the first time in their life. After seeing somebody like me who grew up believing very firmly that therapy and anyone connected to the mental health field was evil and hell-bent on my own personal destruction, it helped other people to seek actual help out there. I'm very proud of that even if it were just one person, Martha, like even if we're just one person that had happened for, I would be beyond thrilled. I would be beyond thrilled to have helped one person to get real help in their life. And that's my hope, is that I can reach the people like me who are stuck in Scientology, who are gay, who are unsatisfied, who are thinking all the time, what the fuck am I doing here? And to get out. And so when I have When I see people like Scott, like Aaron, like Tony, who are doing the opposite of that, right? The opposite of like, hey, like this place is a shithole and you can have a better life on the outside. It angers me because they're using Scientology, the subject of Scientology, the subject of all these things to to profit off of. Okay. Full disclosure, I've never profited off this, guys. It's not a profit for me. Unfortunately for me as a business person, this is a terrible business model. Absolutely the fucking worst. For multiple reasons. A, I don't make money. Look how many super chats have come in this fucking stream. None. Okay. And did I stop the stream and start a whole new one because nobody was super chatting me? No, because that's not the point. The point isn't for you guys to throw money at me hand over fist or send me PayPal, Venmo, and Cash App. The only reason I'm asking for that right now, okay, is because I need to pay a lawyer $5,000 that I don't have to defend myself against someone who I believe is acting as an agent of Scientology in a way, unknowingly perhaps, and is trying to destroy my life. So I'm defending myself against that. Okay. So yeah, that's what if you want my CV, as it were, in terms of what I've done, you're welcome to it. You're welcome to it. I've also personally talked to hundreds of people offline to help them with their questions that are, scared, that are under the radar, that are not able to be free and out in the open. And it is my pleasure to do that. I don't ever tell people I can't, Yeah, but this is a terrible business model for me, financially, but also mental health wise. Talking about Scientology, guys, is completely re-traumatizing myself every time I do it, without a doubt, every time. Okay, and I literally just met with my psychiatrist today to talk about that, to talk about how I stopped having to do this all the time. But when I found out about this whole Goodreads situation and the 4th Reddit being deleted, I had to, I couldn't stay silent. I couldn't stay silent about it because it is just classic fucking OSA bullshit. And everyone needs to, take accountability for that. Take accountability for that. Now, Jordy, I want to say one thing. I'm going to bring your comment up here, not because I agree with it, but I want to point something out here. I made a point earlier, Jordy, that I am not policing other people's lives and who they talk to. Rika comes into my chat. She goes into Scott's chat. She is free to move about the cabin. Okay. If you want to talk to Rika about her personal relationship with Scott, please DM her. Please have that conversation off of my chat. Okay. That's not a conversation I'm having right now. Okay. I'm not bringing that up to shame you or anything, but just do that. Okay. If you have a question for a specific person in the chat, contact them. I am not their representative. Okay. I don't think Aaron has helped anyone. No, I didn't say that. I actually said the opposite of that. If you had been listening earlier, I said that he has done some good stuff. I said he's done some great streams that I think, crack open the door on the behind the scenes stuff. I didn't say he hasn't helped anyone. I said his current actions. Okay. Please, let's all practice listening comprehension here. Aaron's current actions as a protester are detrimental to people who want to protest against Scientology. They will have repercussions for years to come. Now, his legal case is also pending. I had that pulled up somewhere. I don't remember. It's somewhere. But he's facing serious now 2 charges that are being brought not by the district attorney. Let's just go here. But by the state attorney of Florida. Okay. let's just pull it up here. Criminal court. Ba, 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 ba. Here we go. Oh, it's already in there. Okay. All right. So we need this one. No. Okay. So there's two different misdemeanors that he's facing right now. Okay. I'm going to pull the cases up here. One is from, I just have to make sure I don't like dox his personal information here because like for some reason they have like all of the, okay. So that's not, I'm just making sure it doesn't show like his full name and everything in here. Okay. Okay. So this is the one that was filed. This is the one that was filed on, you can see that right here, July 30th. The incident happened on July 29th. Farrell Sherrill bonded him out. The state of Florida, right? And this is his attorney. Okay. So these are all the things that have happened. Okay. He's out on bond for that. The next, so he's had a pretrial hearing. So on the 24th, there was a motion to revoke bond. Let me just look over this here before I share it. Because again, not here to give out more information on my stream, but this is public information. So on the 24th, I'll just read it to you guys. On the 24th, the state of Florida put in a motion. Bruce Bartlett, the state attorney, so he's saying here on July 29th, the defendant was arrested for battery. On July 30th, the defendant posted a $1,000 bond. On September 20th, the defendant committed another battery against a different victim in Pinellas County. On October 23rd, the state filed an information for the new battery charge. As a condition of pretrial release, whether such a release is surety bond or recognizance bond, or in some other form, the defendant must refrain from criminal activity of any kind. Therefore, the defendant violated conditions of his pretrial release by committing a new law violation on September 20th. So they are asking, for his bond to be revoked because the two charges, you have the original charge from July, and then the second charge is from October 23rd. And they're not the same case right now. It's two separate cases. And this one is a misdemeanor in the first degree. So this is serious stuff because they're stacking charges on. And when you record yourself protesting and you record yourself interacting with people who find you antagonistic because of your former status in their cult, shit can go sideways. Shit can go sideways. Okay. No, I get it, Sandy. I'm just making a point here. Right? I don't agree with that at all. I don't agree with that at all. Is she not aware of every character, as Scott would say? Sure, because she doesn't trouble herself with that information. Because why? Because she's focused on getting truthful information to people in power so that they can invoke change. That's, that's what's happening with that. Yes, and thank you guys for having, a respectful conversation back and forth. But I would prefer, if you guys have a disagreement with someone in the chat, please talk to them directly. Please talk to them directly. So your follow-up question, is it Martha or Marthy? I want to say it right. Or is it Mar the Morang? I don't know. Anyway, I'll just call you M. We'll just do that. So what if he wins? Doesn't that prove Scientology has frivolous cases? If Aaron wins, that shows that Scientology lost that one. Now, a frivolous case, okay, let's go back. A frivolous case was Scooter Guy. Okay, if we're going to go back in the lore, Scooter Guy versus Danny. That guy ran his scooter into Danny and then tried to say Danny assaulted him. That was an insane moment. That's a frivolous case. Okay. And again, I'm not a lawyer. Okay. I don't have any legal advice to give anyone. The observations that I've made, I made a short video. I think I put it on private or something later. This is just an example of Aaron's behavior. Okay. When Sea Org members, fake Space Navy members showed up in his neighborhood after the big storm, he chased them down the street, laughing, screaming at them to run. I don't think that that's great behavior. I don't think that that shows, hey, I'm the guy that can help you if you want to escape. He didn't even tell them that while he was chasing them down the street. And that's just one example. There are many other examples of where his protesting has crossed the line, in my opinion, into harassment and not protesting. Okay? Because there is a line, guys. There is a line between holding up a sign, okay, holding up your sign and saying, you know, my body, my choice, women's rights, okay, and walking up to a MAGA person, you know, who's holding the don't kill babies sign and getting 1 inch from their face with your sign and spittling in their face. That's harassment. It's not First Amendment at that point. You're trying to invoke a fight. You're trying to invoke very, very negative emotions in them, right? The point of protest is to be allowed to say your piece out loud so that it can be heard by as many people as possible. And through your messaging, change hearts and minds. Okay? Change hearts and minds. Now, if you try to enforce your messaging as absolute by getting in people's faces, by deleting comments that aren't positive, by kicking people out of your streams because they have a slightly different opinion than you, by just engaging in name calling, grotesque talk about people's bodies, that is no longer protesting. People who want to shout about me and call me Pat, you're not protesting me, honey. You're just voicing sad, negative opinions about me that, frankly, don't change anything. They don't change me for the better. They don't change Scientology at all. I would love to just know how calling me Pat, how calling me whale tits, how saying all these things stop Scientology. How does that accomplish it? How does calling audit fat stop Scientology? It doesn't. It doesn't. What it does do is distract. It's a fucking distraction. And that's what OSA wants also. They want us distracted with the minutia of the minutia of the minutia and not talking about the truth, not talking about healing. They do not want mental health help being promoted. They do not want Jamie's book being promoted. They do not want Liz's book being promoted. They do not want Catherine's book being promoted or Jenna's, right? Why? Because these people are on a healing journey, especially Jamie, who's written 2 books now in regards to recovering from trauma and telling the truth about Scientology. They don't want that because if there's a workable alternative to Scientology, they're fucked. That's what they're scared of. So then you have these characters that come along to disrupt the whole thing. Scott, who paints his RVs and his vans and wears costumes and just, in general, causes trouble. Now, am I against costumed people protesting? No, I live in Portland. And have those costumed people been extremely effective and created a worldwide resist frog movement across the world? Yes, they have. Yes, they have. Has Scott created a worldwide Burger King drag character movement across the world to end Scientology? No. No, he hasn't. No. No, absolutely not. Because he's not inspirational. He's annoying. It's not the same thing. Costumes can bring attention. Costumes can bring attention, but they can also be a distraction. And that's the difference. What is the purpose of the costume? What is the purpose behind the words that you're saying? What is the purpose of it? In Portland, the purpose is, hey, we're Portland. We're fucking weird. We're going to bring joy. We're going to bring songs. We're going to bring a music festival to you with bands and knitting ladies. And we're going to show you that that's who you're trying to lock up here. You're trying to lock up moms and nanas who are out here knitting sweaters for people. Okay? Yeah. If it's, yes, T, if it's valid information, right? But if it's just a bunch of gobbledygook and you want the attention on you, then that's not effective protesting. That's just self-promotion. That's literally just, look at me. You're like Stuart from Mad TV. Look what I can do. Hey, Yadira. Yes, and also it is a dual function. The pepper balls do bounce right off those inflatables. So there you go. It is it is helpful to the protesters that are being unlawfully targeted with projectiles. Yeah. Thank you, Yadira, for reminding everybody. The mods have been doing it as well. Please, boop, give that stream some love. Give the stream some love. Okay, guys, just to circle back to the very beginning here. I want everybody to recognize that there is a cloud of influence over this, whatever you want to call all of this anti-Scientology stuff. It is coming directly from the Church of Scientology, from their Office of Special Affairs Department. It is not coming from somewhere else. They know better than anyone how to psychologically manipulate someone into action and how to find the buttons for any singular person. For people like me who grew up in it and spent thousands of hours confessing to all kinds of weird shit from multiple lifetimes, they know all the things that I fear. They know everything that I fear, and they use that constantly. Constantly. Yeah, that was what David explained when I had him on my channel, Drifter Wars. That David B had told Scott, what's going to help your friend Jay here is that if you make your channel bigger by going to California to protest Scientology, then your channel will be bigger, and then you'll be able to help Jay out in Florida with his neighbor wars or whatever the fuck that was going on. Stuart is like the best. Look what I can do. And I agree. Scientology is evil. Yes. But when they put their veil of influence, okay, over individuals who spread that misinformation, disinformation, spread that discontent amongst the people who are altruistically really give a shit and want to see Scientology end, that's where the tribalism, that's where all of this weird stuff comes from. Now, does that mean every single person who cares about ending Scientology needs to watch my channel? No. I'm not everybody's cup of tea. I understand that, and that's okay. But what it does mean is that if you find yourself slowly throwing away other creators and not listening to vital messages that are factual because the main person you're watching engages in hateful rhetoric towards them, where you find yourself starting to agree with that hateful rhetoric, you need to check yourself, because that is what cults do to manipulate your mind. They get you to agree with the lie that they are keeping you hostage with. Really let that one sink in. They get you to agree with the lie that they are keeping you hostage with. Okay, so I encourage everybody in Scott's chat, in Anthony's chat, and in Aaron's chat to take a good hard look at the funny things that you guys are talking about and the way that you treat and talk about other creators who are survivors of Scientology. Okay. And how does that make you feel? And is that, if these were not survivors of Scientology, not people on the internet, if these were coworkers of yours in a building where you had to see them every day, would you engage in the same behavior? Would you talk about them in the same way that you're talking about them now? These are the questions to ask yourself. Okay? Because I'm not going to change anybody's mind about anything. I'm sure they are. I'm sure everybody in the chat is being completely homophobic, because that's easy. That's an easy insult to make fun of my sexuality, to make that like as if it's a bad thing that I'm an out gay woman. Take a look at yourselves, people, in whatever chat you're watching me in that isn't mine, and ask yourself this question: why does my being gay make you feel so bad right now? What does that have to do with what's going on in your house? Wherever you're watching this stream, is my gayness stopping you from participating in any activity around you right now? Is it? Does my gayness prevent you from making love to your own partner tonight? Like, I can't make love. Nora's gay. I can't go grocery shopping. Nora's gay. Let's think about that. What does you saying gross things about me help you to do right now? What is it helping you with? I'm curious. I'm curious. Anything? Is it making your life better to put me down? Is it making your existence like a plus? Because you were like, oh, Mona called it, I can't clean the house. Nora's gay. I would like you to go say that to your spouse or your boss. Like, I'm sorry, I'm calling out today. Nora's gay. I can't work. Nora's gay. I can't pay my phone bill. Nora's gay. Please use that as an excuse. Give him my phone number. Like, it's just literally, I don't get it. I don't get what is possibly a plus about that. Now, you guys, oh, well, you're attacking Scott, and you're attacking Aaron, and you're attacking Tony. No, guys. I'm not making fun of Scott's appearance, his speech, his constant idea that, guys, also, please, Scott, if you go into a pool or a hot tub that's filled with chlorine, or you walk your body into the ocean, that's not a shower. You're not clean after that. Please bathe. Bathing involves going into a shower, a bath with clean water, clean, no salt, no seaweed, no none of that, and putting soap all over your body. Scrub it in, scrub a dub, foam, get it, okay? And some shampoo and conditioner, or just get a 2-in-1. That's okay too. And then rinse that shit off. That's clean. And then put on some Smell Clean. Put on some deodorant. You're good. You vandalized property because Nora's gay. I would love, please use that as a defense. I would love that. That's just ridiculous. And you are supposed to rinse off, minimally rinse off, Amy, and they have provided showers. Yeah, unfortunately, the ocean is very dirty because we dump all of our poop and other shit in there. It's bad. And use a washcloth. Thank you. Use a washcloth. Use a washcloth. You became gay just because Nora's gay. Show. Okay. Now, did I do a whole stream about the fact that Scott doesn't know what bathing is? No. I brought that up now as an example. Again, that's still not attacking him. That's pointing out something that he said that he thinks is a real thing and then explaining why that's not a real thing. That's not an attack. That's not an attack. I'm not even looking at the other chat, but I would love to see people go, if people want to go in the ocean and call that a shower, leave them alone. That is not, no, it's not okay. That's not healthy for him. That's not going to help his health out, guys, in the long run. That water's not clean. It's not like he went into a pristine brook and washed the dirt off himself and then came out. There's a difference. That water's clean. The ocean isn't clean. And a pool is not clean. People pee in there. Oh my God. Yeah, that's not clean. That's not clean. What is this? Whoa. Okay, breaking news. Now this is coming directly from the our Scientology Gossip LA thread on Reddit, because you gotta love Reddit and the names for things. Let's pull that up here. Where is it? Why is it not showing? That's what I want. All right. So it says word, and this is from Xenophobic 2208. Let me take off that QR code so you guys can see it here. We'll just hide that so you guys can see the top. Okay. Word around the campfire is, I will not say that nickname, but Anthony got nailed good today. So there were several cases for Solomon and Yelena that were heard today. The courts awarded $30,000 in fees to Solomon's lawyer, okay, who is Mr. Weber, for fees, and the restraining orders he requested against Solomon and Yelena tossed, canceled. And then these are other people talking to Big Dog, to that Big Dog, aka Hyperbolic Man. See, you banned 3 subreddits, and for your trouble, your hero gets all ROs thrown out and now owes $30,000 on top of the $50,000 bond. Actually, yeah, it's going to be $500,000. It's $500,000, but he'd have to pay $50,000. And he's still hiding in some hospital. Now, I don't know that he's hiding. The information I saw, that I was told by my lawyer, rather, indicated that he is under the care of a doctor, and they have not determined his discharge date yet based on working with him. So there you go. That's the bit of breaking news right there, guys. So yeah. That is wild stuff. Why can I never just end it? I'm going to pull Aaron's case back up here real quick, and then I'm going to stop sharing that. Sometimes I don't know how to stop sharing the other things. It's really kind of Annoying. It's really kind of annoying. Anyway, so there you go. There you go. That is that's a piece of, positive news for people who are fighting these legal battles. Okay. No, that's true. Listen, I want to bring this up. I wouldn't make this joke anyway. Okay? Because I fully believe in consent. Okay? And the whole drop the soap thing, that's very, in my opinion, childish. Yes, but I agree with the second half of your sentiment that jokes are only approved if, one of those three individuals are making it. Right? They're totally fine with saying demeaning, horrific things about people. But when something in kind is said to them, then it's, yeah. No, you're neither of those things, Rika. You're polite. And you have good personal hygiene. Oh no. This is awful, Sandy. I'm so sorry that that's happening right now. That's a super bummer. Yeah, anybody who's ever lived on the coast knows that you have to literally be careful of the ocean and monitor, especially after storm runoff and all of that stuff. So your friend bathed with soap in the ocean. Okay, so they actually bathed though. There's a difference between, okay, the ocean's a big body of water. I'm going to go in there and scrub myself down with soap and then come out and towel off. They still used soap. T. They still use soap. This is Restream. I'm using Restream right now. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, listen, here's the deal. Zella, I know he's been saying disgusting things about me as an out lesbian. And here's the deal. That just shows once again that he's following the Scott model, that he is absolutely influenced by Scott. Scott has done nothing but make fun of my sexuality, insinuating I might be a man and other things for the past few months because he has no other, what argument is he going to make against me? There's nothing for him to make an argument against except for attack my sexuality, my gender identity, and all of that. So yeah, but here's why I'm not worried about it, Zella, because Josiah will delete the stream right after, and if he doesn't, I will privacy strike it. I'm just telling you right now, Josiah, privacy strike coming your way. It's not a threat; it's a promise. So you can delete it like you normally do. That's why I'm not worried about it, and I'm not pulled it up right now and done a privacy strike while you're in the middle of it. I'll let you get your, I'll let you say your piece on your stream, and then you'll delete it like you always do. And then I don't have to worry about it. And I will think, Josiah, I just want you to know, honey, as a mom, I feel like this is just really sad. It's sad. If you were my kid, I'd be very disappointed in you right now. That's the emotion that I would feel right now as your mom. Severe disappointment, because I have raised all four of my children to be good, kind, decent people who are helpful, who are thoughtful, who think before they speak words, and who use their energy to help people. And I feel like right now that is not what you're doing with your talent or your time or your energy. And that's sad. That is a sad thing to see. So as a mom, I'm disappointed. And consequences of actions will be real, Josiah. You experienced that. You almost went to jail. So I really hope that you took that as a lesson on what not to do in life. And maybe do yourself a favor and maybe don't hang out with people who are, congratulating you or encouraging you to do that kind of behavior, because they don't have your best interests in mind. They want you to entertain them because they find your misdeeds and your the way you perform these negative actions to be entertainment for them. You're not a real person. You're not someone they care about. And you're not going to get any benefit from that. It will only hinder your life moving forward. So, yeah. But as you said at the beginning, you're a grown ass man and you can do whatever you want. And respecting that, I say to you, make better choices. Make better choices. Yeah, I don't know about the Ganges. That is legendary for like, don't touch that if you're not from there, kind of a thing. Yeah, I agree, Jess. I mean, it's really low hanging fruit. It's just real. No, I don't think it's funny to dress up as a convicted rapist. I don't think there's any humor in that. I don't think that's funny. I don't think that's funny. Thank you. Thank you for that. Thank you. I mean, and I sincerely believe that. Josiah is very young. He's got a long, full life ahead of him. And as I tell my kids, the internet's forever. Whether you delete that stream or not, honey, it's on the Wayback Machine, and people can pull that up. And that can prevent you from getting a lot of things in life: credit, jobs, cars, houses, relationships. And I would hate to see someone lose all of the potential of their life moving forward for for someone who eventually won't give two shits about you, you know. But that's, again, your choice, not mine. I'm not going to lose 1 ounce of sleep over one word that you say about me tonight. But I think your energy could definitely be spent in better places. Yes, they do. Yeah, kind of everything goes in the Ganges. Yeah. 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 So I would say to the 3 individuals that are facing very serious crimes, that all have jail time attached to them, my advice: consult your lawyer. Do what your lawyer says. If you don't have a lawyer, get a lawyer, whether that's someone you pay money to or a public defender. And do not use ChatGPT to research things, because ChatGPT often cites cases that don't exist. And you don't want to do that. You don't want to do that when you're mounting a legal case. And as all of us have discovered in fighting these legal battles, the law is complicated and it takes its sweet baby time. Yeah. So I would encourage people to please follow the laws of the land where you're at while you're protesting, and keep protesting on all of the issues that you find important. Okay. Don't, get out there and have your voice heard, because I think while we can still do that in this country, I think we should all go do it, about all the things that you care about. Okay. When it comes to Scientology, always know that their game is to cause as much disruption, as much distraction, as much upset as they can, to wipe the board of any player that is affecting change in a direction that hinders Scientology's income, that hinders their expansion, that makes them look bad in the public eye. So, mission accomplished. We're doing that. Scientology is not looking good. It's a bit of pie on their face, and these things will only ramp up. Okay, so these will not be the only characters, people that we see that become under the influence of the Office of Special Affairs. There will be many more as time goes on. Okay, but what our job is to be aware of the voices that come in. And yes, Giselle, I can see you. Of the voices that come in and are very distinctly wanting to control the narrative, to be the only one who's an expert, to be the source for all of the things, all of the interviews, all of the approvals, or the one who is like, I know who all the bad people are, right? Those people, immediate red flags. Immediate red flags. You need to investigate. You need to do your due diligence. Okay. Yeah. I don't know anything about that, Giselle. Again, Josiah's live right now. You should ask him. Okay. I don't know. Honestly, I don't even know Josiah. I've never met him. I've never had a conversation with him. It's amazing to me that he seems to have so many definitive opinions about me, not ever having had a conversation with me in any way, shape, or form, but had no problem accepting my money when he needed help. And that's fine. I'm not asking for the money back. It was a donation. It's gone. It went to a good place. You didn't go to jail. That was the whole intention. So my intention was accomplished, to give you help and to promote for other people to give you help, which I did. I don't regret that decision. Okay. But it's just interesting to me. It's just an interesting point, right? But guys, please know this. Okay. So when we say, and there's going to be like 25 Reddit threads, I swear to God, where people are like, oh, Nora's just like outside. Yes. I said what I said. This is an OSA op. All of this is an OSA op. Stop pretending, old timers out there, that OSA still isn't in existence and that they still aren't actively trying to destroy every single person on planet Earth that has the steel fucking ovaries to come out and say Scientology is a fucking cult, that it is a human child trafficking cult that abuses its members, that recruits children, that covers up sexual assault, that abuses the elderly workers. Okay? Every single person who comes out and talks about those things will be attacked, because it's never not happened. Please, someone in the chat, name me one person who's come out of Scientology and said truth about Scientology and has not had a negative thing said about them. I'll wait. Anyone? No, because that's what they do. Okay? That's what they do. Oh, Nancy, thank you so much for that. That's very generous. Thank you for this super chat. I appreciate you. Does the LGBTQ plus cult? So does the... I'm not understanding your question, John. Can you reform your question so that I can address it more accurately? I'm not trying to... I could kind of extrapolate your question. Are you saying that Labiqua is a cult and that anybody who says truth about LGBTQ plus people is attacked because it's a cult? Is that the question? Oh, yes, 100%. Mike Rolls. Yeah, I agree. I firmly believe that. But if, John, you want to rewrite your question, I'm absolutely okay with entertaining that question. I do have to go in a minute, guys. I got to get my food ordered here from a great Mexican taco truck here because, okay, let's see here. I'm trying to support small businesses and immigrant-owned businesses here. The LGBTQ does most of the same things you're complaining Scientology does, but no one talks about it. Interesting. John, as a member of Labiqua, I don't know what in particular you're talking about. I would love to do like a Q&A stream where we could go back and forth and kind of talk about this, because yes, there's a lot of like pushback from Labiqua people about like, hey, we want human rights, and people are like, fuck you, you're not human. So there's a little bit more nuance. I would say like a lot bit more nuance than what Scientology does, right? Because I can tell you Scientology fucking hates gays. But yeah. It's not Tuesday, but I'm having tacos. because I'm gay. And remember, guys, if you can't get something done today, it's because Nora's gay. Okay? And I'm going to leave you guys on that note. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Thank you, everybody, for my members. Thank you, Sandy, for that super chat. Thank you, as always, to my mods, the lady mods, because, of course, as a lesbian, I only have lady mods, because I'm gay. And thank you for turning into this gay stream. And now you're gay. I will see you all on the flippity dippity.